Hey, what's up you guys, it's me Luke and welcome back to another video, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I post commentary and critique and reaction videos on basically anything on the internet that interests me, from pop culture to internet culture, from movie reviews and TV show reviews to music reviews, basically anything else on the internet that I find amusing or interesting. So if any of that interests you, then be sure to go ahead and click the subscribe button and the post notifications bell so that you never miss another upload from me. Alrighty guys, so today we're going to be speaking about something that I've recently been getting into, which is astrology. So this is my Astrology in Focus personal guide written by Sasha Fenton, and I have been reading this book a lot recently and I really enjoy it, and I've been really getting into astrology, which is interesting because I used to make fun of astrology because I thought, like, when I pictured astrology, I just thought of those stupid horoscopes that you find in magazines, but really it's so much more than that. It's really a belief system, and when you read through them, you will not relate to every single star sign, but you will relate to the one that relates to you. At least I do. So I think that's why I appreciate it more. I've also been getting more into co-star. So basically what I did is I showed you guys my chart and I told you guys to please make some assumptions about me based on my astrological chart, specifically my sun sign, which is Aquarius, my moon sign, which is Leo, and my rising sign, which is a Pisces. And then some people did a few little extra assumptions about all my other signs, but those are the main ones. And yeah, in today's video, I'm going to just react to your assumptions about me based on my astrological chart. So without further ado, let's get into it because I'm about to dive in to your assumptions about me. So this first one says, as an Aquarius/Leo myself, I'm sure you struggled with deeply wanting attention, but also struggled to believe you're deserving of it. Yeah, I think so. I think whenever people used to like me growing up, I would never notice it because I was just like under the belief system that like no one would ever like me, even though I really wanted people to. So I definitely agree with that one. I think it is me. I definitely like human attention and affection from romantic partners, but a lot of the time I guess I do feel like I don't deserve it. So yeah, I'm constantly needing affirmation. So I think that one's true. You're probably very self-aware to a point that you become fixated on yourself and lose sight of what's happening outside of your head. That's very true. I am very self-aware and self-critical of myself, to the point where it's like kind of ridiculous, because when you think about it, you're your worst critic and nobody else is gonna like think about you as much as you think about you, if that makes sense. But like, it's easier said than done. Next one is, you have an on-off emotional switch. Once you decide you've done with someone or something, there's no going back. You're also very selective with who you surround yourself with. Yeah, that's pretty true. I'm definitely one to like cut people out of my life if they are disservicing me or like just not healthy for me. And as I've grown up, the older I've gotten, I've tried to become more and more selective with the people that I surround myself with, because they say that you're only a product of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. So you want to make sure those 5 people are good. So yeah, I definitely agree with that one. I think that one's me. So far you guys are really spot on. This person did 3. So they did 1 for my sun, my moon, and my rising. So starting off with the sun, they said good emotional intelligence and inclination towards wanting to be seen as unique and wanting attention due to Aquarius's more creative nature and the Leo's love for the spotlight. Okay, so I do think I have a good emotional intelligence and an inclination towards wanting to be seen as unique. That's so true. I definitely will try to stay away from things in the mainstream because, you know, I'm not like other girls, what can I say? So yeah, that's definitely true. The thing is, I see a lot of stuff about people saying Leo's love for the spotlight. I don't think I necessarily care for that. I don't really like to be the center of attention, which may shock you guys since I'm speaking to a camera. I obviously have to be somewhat self-involved for that. But no, I don't really like being the center of attention. Aquarius is an air sign and they can come across as detached or in their own world. Yeah, I definitely live in my own world sometimes. And sometimes I need to take a step out of it and just realize like, okay, you know, not everything is as dramatic as you think it is. The moon in Leo typically will want to show authority in some way, but the more relaxed Aquarius nature can cause some tug and pull, and there's not much balance there. Probably impulsive and not a good planner. That is very true. I'm not really good at planning. I'm very like, I always say, like, people like, my therapist is always like, when are you going to create a schedule? And I'm like, see, what you don't get is like, well, she gets it now, is that I cannot work off of a schedule. I'm very mood based. So I have to do my work or do what I need to do based on my mood. If I'm not in the mood to do something, I won't do it. So it's really difficult for me to listen to authority or to be in a fixed schedule, which is why I hated uni, which is why I hated working regular jobs and being told what to do, is because that's just not the way that I operate. I like to be very much in control. Same with my friends. Like, I'm usually the one who organizes the friendship things or like organizes which cafe we're going to. I'm just a very controlling person. Should really work on that. But not like people. I don't like to control people. I just like to control situations to avoid shitty situations, if that makes any modicum of sense. Rising sign basically represents how you protect yourself and immediate responses that aren't emotionally charged, because that's the moon's area. Pisces are very good at reading people and the emotions in the room, and combined with Aquarius sun makes for crazy good observation skills. Yeah, I would say that I'm pretty good at reading people, I would say, except usually my insecurities can kind of like overcome that, and I can be like, oh no, they don't actually think that. Like, I'll listen to my head instead of my heart when my heart is like telling me something, or my gut. Most of my gut, I would say, is telling me something, because I have good intuition and very good observation skills. But like usually because of my like anxiety or insecurities, I'll tend to ignore my gut and just focus on what my head's saying, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, these were really, really interesting. Well done. Thank you. Next one is Pisces rising often have fish-like features. I don't know what that means. Do I look like a fish? Leo moons thrive on being the center of attention. No, we've established that's not me. But Aquariuses don't care for others' approval. Very much me. With your sun opposite your moon, you probably have conflict with your emotions versus your ego, what your ego needs. Yeah, that's very much true, I guess you would say. I don't know, like for example, I don't really care about follow account or subscribe account. Like ever since I hit 100K, I haven't really cared since. Like I just wanted the plaque. So I don't really think I have a big ego. Like that's why my ego doesn't get hurt very often. Like views don't really affect me as long as people who are watching my videos are enjoying my videos, and as long as I can pay my bills, I'm happy. No, like that's why I was shocked when I found out that my moon was in Leo, because I know that Leos are notorious for like wanting to be the center of attention and having a big ego, but that's just not me. The next one is you're a little spicy, but it's because of your free spirit. You are creative, but sometimes get lost in the clouds. Very much true. I'm like an ideas man, which is a very Aquarius thing. It's like having a lot of ideas, but not putting them into action. You fall in love fast and love attention. I do fall in love fast. I do love attention from friends and romantic partners, that's true. Fairly empathetic, but sometimes a crybaby. Not true, actually. I'm pretty strong. And I'm way too empathetic. Like, not even fairly. Like, it sounds cringy now saying it because Shane Dawson said it, but I'm an empath. And they said you fear commitment. Yeah, I do fear commitment. I mean, that's why I keep moving so often and only signing 6-month leases, because I fear committing to an apartment, because I'm like, oh, I get bored too easily. But that's probably also because of the way I was brought up. Next one is Leo moons tend to thrive in show business on camera because they're naturally good actors and a wee bit dramatic. But we know that from your YouTube already. Yeah, I am quite dramatic and I do want to be an actor, so like that's pretty accurate. Next one is, how do you have a God complex but also no sense of self? I just thought this one was funny because it was like so far from who I actually am. But Aquariuses are known, I think, for having a God complex, and then Leos are known for not being self-aware. So I think that's where you got that from. But no, that's like the furthest thing from me. I do not have a God complex. I'm pretty humble, and I have almost too much of a sense of self-awareness to the point where it's like damaging. Next one is, I assume you appear artsy because of your Pisces rising, but you are actually quite aloof and detached. Aquarius sun, except for the side of you craving fame and daily praise. Leo moon. See, I'm just not vibing with like my Leo moon. Like I'm just not, like the Pisces I definitely feel, Aquarius sun I feel, but like my Leo moon, like all this like wanting fame and praise, like no, not really. It's not really my gig. Next one is, you're always in your own head and quite emotional, but on the outside, you're pretty good at keeping it together. Very true. I live in here rent-free. You've also got a massive heart and try look at the positive, but you're also very selective of who you fully trust and like close to you. Very, very true. I try to be very positive and look for the best in people, but people just keep showing their bad sides. So next one, we're going to go to my YouTube community tab. And this first one says, you're quite flamboyant or animated since your ascendant is Pisces and your moon is Leo. I think so. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think I'm flamboyant and animated? I suppose so. I would say I probably am. You can be quite sensitive and would rather figure out or analyze a situation or person rather than being aggressive in an argument. Yeah, I'm very much like, let's breathe, let's talk it out. Like I hate conflict and yelling. Oh, that's so not me. That being said, after an argument, you may get emotional and dramatize the situation, be in your feels and just want to sleep it off, wishing you were somewhere else. Very true. I find arguments and conflict and constant fighting and yelling extremely draining. That is just not my vibe. Like, I'd rather just like not say anything than have a problem with somebody and bring it up. But that's an issue because then I tend to bottle things up and sweep it under the rug until I have an explosion. Your sun is in Aquarius, so I'm feeling that you have the ability to think outside the box and be known for who you are instead of conforming to the norms. That's very much me. I've never been the type of person that's wanted to like go with the flow. Like the whole 9 to 5, get married by this age, have a family by this age, do this, do that. Like the plan of life is just so not me. So I definitely agree with that. For example, you'd rather create your own trends rather than stick to the mainstream one. You don't always know what you want. However, you know in yourself what is best for you, and that guides your decision making. This is very true. Your moon is in Leo, so I'm positive you take a lot of pride in your appearance. Sending love. Yes, when I'm like out, which I guess is most people, like when I'm at home, I can look like trash, but I can never leave the house looking like trash. Just because I feel like how you look on the outside is almost a reflection of how you feel on the inside. If you're feeling, if you take pride in your appearance, it just shows that you care for yourself. It's like a self-care. Next one is, when you were younger, you were too loyal to people who didn't deserve it, but now you're learning to stop that. Very, very, very true. I would let people walk over me. I was like a doormat, honestly. And now I'm just realizing that that is just not it. Okay? Like if people treat me like shit, then I'm gonna say bye-bye, or I'm gonna say snip snip. According to your chart, you're probably open-minded, wise, free-spirited, and help others working on yourself behind closed doors. I would say that I'm pretty wise. People often think I'm older than I am. I'm pretty free-spirited, like as you could probably tell in my videos. Open-minded for sure, and I do like helping others, and I do work on myself behind closed doors. You're low-key a crackhead, but can be serious when needed. Very true. I'm very good at like a lot of people are either like crackhead energy all the time or like very serious all the time. I'm pretty good at like flipping between the two. I'm a versatile king. This one says, Aquarius and 11th house stellium, as everyone else said, you go against the grain and can detach yourself from emotional aspects and situations more easily than... That is decently true. Like I've always said to my sister, like, don't make permanent decisions on temporary emotions and look at this logically, not with your emotions. Because when you look at things with your emotions, it can be very cloudy. So yeah, that's very much what I am. You're probably a great critical thinker, even though you come off as emotional. Pisces ascendant. Yeah, I'm very, very analytical and I'm very academic. And growing up, I wasn't the best with like social cues and emotional cues, but I've kind of learnt my way through that. Like I can detach myself from something to the point of dissociation if I need to, because it's what I've had to do to deal with trauma. But I try not to. I try to let myself feel with my emotions instead of like bottling them up, because I would rather deal with them now than later. But sometimes it's just too hard. Sometimes I just gotta bottle that shit up and deal with it later. I gotta put a pin in it. I'm like, let's put a pin in this and talk about it later because I can't do it right now. Uranus, sorry, I'm so immature. Uranus rules revolution and change, so you're likely very forward-thinking too and open to new ideas. You're not terribly stubborn, but you're not a pushover. I'm definitely not a pushover, but I just let people walk over me, if that even makes a modicum of sense. And I'm not stubborn. No, I'm pretty good at like meeting people halfway or like making a compromise. Next one is, based on your Mars and Ascendant being in Pisces, I feel like you love really hard and really fast. Yeah, that's true. I do fall in love pretty quickly. I move really fast in relationships and dating as well. And people are like, woo, let's just pump the brakes. And I'm like, if you can't handle this, there's the door. With your moon being in Leo, I feel like you might need quite a bit of validation from people. Yeah, I tend to think that people hate me unless they tell me that they don't. Like one time I was with my friend and I was like, are we even friends? And they were like, you think I just do this with everyone as we were doing something? And I was like, oh, okay. I guess we are friends. Like I just doubt myself and I doubt the fact that people would like me so often. So a good bit of validation is quite nice. Your Venus in Sagittarius might indicate that you can be wishy-washy in love when you get bored and want to explore and be your own person. That's very true. I'm a very independent person. I hate codependency, so that's pretty true. With an Aquarius, Sun, and Mercury, it's pretty likely that you don't F around with small talk and you really like to deep dive into abstract concepts. So true. I hate small talk so much. I'm like, let's just get into it. Let's have a D&M. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it now. You act like you're level-headed and above emotions, but in reality, you freak out every day. Also, you must be unique and fun to be around. Thank you. I would like to think that I'm unique and fun to be around. And yeah, I do like to act level-headed and above emotions, but I do freak out every day. I freak the freak out. My anxiety shoots through the roof, but I try and bottle it up. It's all about bottling, guys. It's not healthy, but it's a coping mechanism. Leo moons tend to have large reactions and can be dramatic, but they're often determined and can be warm. Yeah, I would say I'm quite determined and I'm very dramatic. So that's like one trait from the Leo moon that I definitely have, is the dramaticness. Since it's in your 5th house, I'd imagine that you're a loving person, perhaps very creative as well. Yes, this is true. Your 11th house looks kind of packed. I'd imagine that you have an intense social life. I do. It's hard to keep up with it. All these friends. No, I'm kidding. But like, I meet so many people and I'm always like, oh, we should catch up. We should do this. But in reality, there's only 7 days in a week. It's so hard to catch up with people. And everyone's busy and schedules conflict. But I do know a lot of people and have a lot of like friends. I just don't have a lot of close friends. Your personality is very adaptable and changes drastically depending on who you're with, which can make you lose sense of self over time when determining identity. Lots of questions, but still strong. This is probably the one that I've related to the most because I definitely do like to adapt to people. I think it's a coping mechanism from like being bullied so much growing up, is that I learned to like mimic other people's behavior in order to fit in with them. Like when I'm with straight guys, I have to put on this like persona, and then when I'm with girls, I'm a lot more, just so that I want to make everybody else feel comfortable. I basically like mold myself into what they want me to be. It's a really bad way to be. But when I'm really comfortable with somebody, I can be 100% myself, and that's how I know that they're the right person for me. But it gets really clouded. And yeah, there is a lot of questions. Alrighty, let's go to the Instagram assumptions. Leo Moon, you ain't give a F and will piss someone off just to spite them. That is so not me. Like I said, I'm very anti-conflict. Aquariuses are stubborn as F. Once again, very much not me. Next one is you probably had an identity crisis in quarantine. It says I have an identity crisis every week. But yes, in quarantine, very much so. You're an amazing listener. Yes and no. Like, I love a good conversation, but that's what it is. It's a conversation. I'm a conversationalist. I don't like just listening to somebody drone on for ages and ages. But I am an amazing talker. Which is funny, because this one says, don't Aquariuses talk a lot? Like, I'm not sure. And I'm like, yes, Aquariuses do talk a lot, and so do I. I just love conversations. I love talking to people. I mean, I literally talk for a living. Next one is you're perceived as being out there and an extrovert, but you're quite low-key and like your me time a lot. Very true, because I'm very outgoing, people think that I'm an extrovert, and I'm like, no, really, I need some time alone to, like, recharge, you know? Just to, like, be a blob in my bed and like do nothing. You have a love-hate relationship with kids. Very true. Like, I love my nephew and my little brothers, but like I don't know if I want my own kids, just because like I see how much work they are and I've looked after kids, so I know how much work they are first. You have quite a good intuition. Oh, thank you so much. I would like to think so. I would like to think that. Pisces rising makes you feel like a million different personalities based on who you're with. Once again, yes, we spoke about that before, how I like change who I am based on people. Some might call me two-faced, but I call it just a really smart coping mechanism to stay safe in society. Sad that I have to do that though. I'm an Aquarius sun also, and people think we have a God complex. Thoughts? Very much not me. I could see why people would think that. Like, in order to even have a YouTube channel or to like want to be an actor, you'd have to think you're some kind of top shit. Like, you'd have to have some sort of ego in order to be able to do that. So I could see why people think Aquarius have, you know, God complexes, because a lot of Aquarius suns are like models or actors or like to like, you know, be out there, or have all these newfound ideas, and they think their ideas and opinions are so great. So I could see why people would think that. But yeah, anyway guys, that is all of my assumptions that I'm going to react to today. Obviously there were a ton more. Let me know if you want me to do this video again. I'm not sure how this video will do, because not everybody is into astrology, which is, you know, understandable. I wasn't. It's because it's got a bad rep, but astrology is really, really interesting. I love it a lot. I did a lot of research before this video from this book, and yeah, I just had a lot of fun with this. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below what you thought of it. If you have any more assumptions about me, tell me what your signs are. I would love to know if there's any Aquarius out there. I'm referencing my necklace because it says Aquarius. And yeah, if you have not already, please make sure you subscribe and turn on the post notifications bell so that you never miss another upload from me. As always, my social media is just linked down below if you'd like to go ahead and follow me. My Instagram is just @TheLukeAlexander. My Twitter is Luke the Lunatic. My second channel is Lowkey Luke. Merch is linked down below, as well as the link to my Cameo if you'd like to book a shout out from me, or you want to ask me a question or ask for advice. If you've not already, check out my last 3 videos. I will link them down below. I did a video reacting to your guys' unpopular opinions. I did a video talking about TikTok, and then I did a video talking about self-confidence. So if you've missed those 3 videos, please check it out. But anyway guys, that's it for me in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you in my next one. And as always, I hope that you have a great day or night wherever you are in the world. Bye.